Hi guys, it's Caroline Rose, and today I'm going to go over my morning routine. So as a small business owner of two companies, it's really important that when I wake up in the morning, I have my systems organized and I can start every morning really productively. So I have some products here to show you for when I wake up in the morning. I use them, whether it be my makeup routine, which we're going to talk about, or what I do when I first go down and sit at my kitchen table. But also I'm going to just talk about some tips and tricks that I use in order to get myself up out of bed to start the day. So I use the alarm clock on my phone, but I don't use the standard alarm. I use one that wakes me up based on my sleep cycles. So as I am coming out of a deep sleep, it naturally wakes me up. So I set my alarm between a half an hour period. I like to get up between 5:45 and 6:15. I'm definitely a morning person. I am more ambitious in the morning, and I find that if I get out of bed first thing in the morning, I get a lot more accomplished, even if that means I have to take a nap later in the day because I stayed up too late the night before. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I drink a big glass of water. I actually leave it beside my bedside table the night before, so I put a bunch of ice in it, leave it beside my table, and as soon as I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is drink that glass of water. I know it helps with my hydration and my skin and getting me ready in the morning. So after that, I will go, and the first thing I do is I spray this facial mist on my face as I'm headed to the kitchen to start to do some of my paperwork. So I just spray this on my face. It's wonderful, and I just let it sit there for a minute while I'm going to the kitchen to do some of my work. So in the morning, I do a couple big things. So I do a brain dump, which I've talked about before. But a brain dump is I just grab this notebook and I write down every single thing that's on my brain, whether it be personal or business, my shopping list, any bills that need paid, anything I'm worried about, anything I don't want to forget. I honestly clear my brain on a sheet of paper. I do this every morning, and what that does for me is it allows me to focus on my three big things for the day. So you can really only focus on 4 things every day, and I find that if my brain is crowded, I can't get things done. So I write it all out. So first step is I brain dump. After I brain dump, I start to get into my devotional. And right now I'm doing a gratitude devotional. So I go through one of these every single morning, and I just focus on being really grateful for what's happening during the day and how I can set myself up for intention. And I also use the She Reads Truth Bible, which is one of the best tools that I have. It's such a unique and pretty Bible, as you guys can see. So I pair it with this, do a quick devotion every morning, and then I have a little Hello Jesus prayer journal. And what I do is I pray for the K Rose team and our customers. I pray for my Instagram followers and my Facebook followers, my friends and family. I write down when God answers prayers, when I know that prayers were told to wait. And so I make sure that I keep track of prayers in here because I know sometimes it can be easy to pray for things and then wonder why we're not seeing results, but instead we are seeing results. We're just not keeping track. So I do that every single morning. After that, I'm a big handwritten note person. So if you guys know me, I love to write handwritten notes. I try to write one every morning. So I have a lot of these over there, a whole stack of them. Someone who's been laid on my heart that past day or that morning, I just write them a note. It doesn't matter if I hadn't written them a note in a year or if I wrote them a note yesterday. If I'm thinking about them, I just quickly draft a note and throw it in the mail. And then the next thing that I do is this self-journal, which is one of my favorite things. So in here, it talks about what your goal for the day is, your top 3 strategies. So I try not to have an overwhelming list, just the top 3 big things that I'm going to do. Gives you a fun little quote. The lessons that I learned yesterday and some wins. And then I always at the end of the day, I write what I was grateful for that day and anything that happened. So I often I do this every morning and every night, and it is one of the best things that I do. So that's what I do when I get to the kitchen. And then I'll start my diffuser. Right now I'm obsessed with a citrus blend, but fall is coming soon, so I'm sure that will change. And after I've done all of that, Because I use intermittent fasting, I don't eat in the morning, so I save my meal till about 12, about noon. And so then I head to the bathroom to get my makeup routine on. So I wash my hair about twice a week, and I love dry shampoo, which we'll talk about when we do my hair routine. But I love the dry shampoo that I use, so I wash my hair once or twice a week. But I'll talk a little bit about my makeup routine. So like I said before, I had already sprayed my face with this mist, which is really great. The next step is the Mary Kay primer. So I'm going to put this primer just all over my face. One thing that's really important here is that this is sunscreen. I know that it's really easy, especially when I'm out shipping cattle in the fall, that I forget to put sunscreen on. So I put this in. What it does is it just evens out my face, and I find that it's much easier to put on my foundation. Next, I use this concealer. So it looks just like this, and I hide the marks that I don't want on my face, and I just put a little concealer on, and I use this blender to rub it in. So then I use the CC cream, which again has sunscreen, which being on one of my medications that I am on, sunscreen is so important. So I use this CC cream. It has 50 SPF, which is really, really good. So I'm going to put that foundation all over my face. And then I'm a big fan of the Naked Urban Decay blush and bronzer palette. So as you can see, I kind of like to hang out right there, and I don't need a ton of bronzer because I'm not that tan. Haven't spent a lot of time in the sun this year. So I do that, and I know that you're supposed to probably buy really fancy brushes, but I get mine when they're on sale at Black Friday, usually at Target, and I think they cost like 50 cents a piece. So after I get done with all of that, the next step is my eyebrows. So I used to get my eyebrows tinted all the time, and I just found that I wasn't able to keep up with how often I needed. So I love this tinted brow gel, and it's just like mascara brush. You guys will see me put it on pretty soon, and I just run it in the brow, and it just helps sharpen the look. You'll see the before and after. So after that, then I start in on my eyes. So I really also like this Naked palette by Urban Decay, and again, I only use about 4 of the colors, but I really like those colors. I'm also pretty obsessed right now with this gold sparkly. Sometimes in my line of work, if I'm out shipping cattle or at a bull sale, there's not a lot of opportunities to sparkle, so I kind of like to have this little girly side. So I put that on. CoverGirl definitely has the best mascara. I don't care what anyone says. I really enjoy this drugstore mascara. Occasionally, I will put this oil on my scar after I get my makeup on, just kind of as a sealant, because sometimes it can get really sunburnt or really red throughout the day. And then I use this eyeliner. And so once I've done that, the look is complete, and the last thing is just some simple drugstore lip gloss. And I'm ready to walk out the day. I know it looks like a lot, but I have it down to a science. I don't like to spend a lot of time doing my makeup because I find, especially during the fall and spring, that a lot of times I have to be somewhere before daylight. So that means leaving by 6:30. And if I'm up somewhere between 5:45 and 6, it doesn't give me a lot of time in the morning. So I like to have a really polished look, but that can come together quickly. And another thing I'm really loving for my morning routine is scrunchies. So I probably would have sworn that I never would have put this in my hair again when I was a child. But I've really naturally curly hair. I'm wearing a scrunchie right now, as you guys can see. And the best thing about this is when I get done at the end of the day, I can take my hair out or I can put it in a scrunchie. And when I take my hair out, I don't have any bumps or lines in my hair that sometimes the ponytail can cause. And so scrunchies save the day because I can take my hair out, spray some dry shampoo in it, put it in a braid or a bun, and I can be ready to go for the next day, face with makeup, and look really professional.